Hello my friends, and welcome back to my den where we're going to share another shave. Today's shave is brought to us by Seaforth Blackwatch. It's a very nice soap. I don't think Seaforth knows how to make a bad soap. The stuff is wonderful. I have that and the two aftershave products. I'm not sure which one we'll use. There's an aftershave toner and then there's an aftershave splash, both in the same flavor, as it were. Today's razor is one that I know I've only used about 2 or 3 times. This is a rather wicked looking thing, a gold dollar model W59. I like to think of it as a Klingon death weapon of some sort. This is not what I would consider a beginner's razor. If you guys are looking to start out and you buy a razor just because it's wicked looking, bad idea. Especially when it's got a Spanish point like this. Let's see if I can get there we go, a little light. See how pointy that thing is? That's guaranteed to open up a vein if you're not careful. Our brush today is what I call a Harlequin brush. It's made to us by Grey Dog. It's a badger bristles or not. I don't remember where it came from. It's been a few years, but still pretty good. It's an able latherer. I've been moving kind of away from badger bristles or knots lately, only because synthetics are getting so nice that I kind of almost prefer them to my badger knots, which I used to kind of be a badger fanboy, but I turned into a synthetic fanboy here lately, and mostly because, and some of my friends will probably go with me on this, I don't know whether it's just me or what, but I have a lot of trouble with my badger brushes hogging the lather and not letting go of it. Now, there's a whole bunch of lather in this bowl, but if I agitate this, the brush will soak them all up, and I have to kind of scrape it out and then put it on the very tips to get it out there. And then when I try to paint it on again, the brush eats it again. It's frustrating, but that's what you get. This gold dollar is not known for being first a #1 quality razor, but I call this kind of their attempt to get into the custom razor scene. And they made a couple pretty decent models, and now I'm not sure, but that the steel is a little better in these things. They took a pretty good edge. I honed this particular one on a jasper stone using a kind of a Tomonagura technique, using just kind of what I had on hand, and it seemed to do a pretty good job with it. It's a 6/8 blade, pretty heavy. It seems to be doing a pretty good job. This one, I don't know if all of them are like this, but it's a fairly short, almost what I would call a shorty, as far as the length of the blade itself. And then because I'm strictly avoiding the Spanish tip, although what you can do with Spanish tips is dull it on the mirror, kind of take the very tip and do that, and it'll just blunt that a little bit, so it doesn't actually, if it doesn't actually blunt that tip, at least give you a little psychological benefit, so you don't think it's gonna open your face up. That would be ugly. camera is a little bit to one side, so I can use the full mirror. Otherwise I'd accidentally, not intentionally, start using the viewfinder as a guide for my shaving, and it's just too small. So if it looks like I'm looking past you, it's because I am. Hear that thing vocalizing? It's doing a pretty good job of. This is about 3 days growth for me, which really isn't a whole lot. There's a lot of fellas out there that 3 days wouldn't. I mean, my 3 days is probably 1 day for some people, because I have a pretty slow growing beard. Now, I honed this thing several months ago and put it back in the box. I got a little bit of irritation after that first pass. Which means it's not quite ready for prime time. I'll give it another go, probably. Actually use a J-net, polish it up with the J-net, because its basic geometry is pretty good. It's just not removing, or it's just being a little irritating. I can tell you right now that I'm going to get lit up when I use the aftershave. We on the shaving cadre, we are right in the midst of our Christmas gift exchange, sponsored by Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and his shiny nose. My package arrived this morning, and that prompted me to put the tree up. Of course, Mom and I are empty nesters, so our tree's a little 3-foot tall aluminum job. And I don't even put ornaments on it, because we also have cats. You'd think the safety cats would want to keep the tree safe also. That's not the case. They are tree bandits. They really like to knock things off a tree and chase them about the house. So we saw years ago that we'll if we don't put ornaments on the aluminum tree, and I can just put lights and a little laser ornamentation, and that seems to be fine. Looks good from the street. There's usually only a couple of gifts under the tree anyway. So a little 3-foot tall one sits on the windowsill of the front window, and it looks like a full-size tree because, you know, you got from the ground up that we're not using. So that's pretty good for us. This is a decent shave, I'd say somewhere between darn fine shave, because there's just a little bit right here. I mean, knock that off and I'd probably upgrade this to a darn fine shave, which is basically all I really shoot for. Yeah. So we'll let that go for a little bit. Maybe I'll just use the toner today. It's been a spell since I've used it, so I don't even remember what this looks like. what's almost a shave milk, a light colored thing. Probably good for my face. Needs some. That'll do us. We'll set it with a little powder and we will be done. With that, a quick 2-pass, 10-minute shave with a clearly dangerous blade. I think you guys, hope you guys enjoyed this. And that's where we're at. Thank you for coming to kind of review. We were using Seaforth Blackwatch with our Harlequin Badger brush and the Gold Dollar 59, and doing a pretty good job with it. I'm Major Rich, and you'll find me at theshavinghunter.com, or if you're finding me on YouTube, you just find me under Major Rich. If you're not already and you made it this far, if you wouldn't mind, like, at the very least, subscribe if you kind of like what I'm doing. Doesn't cost you anything, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.